Being born female is a health hazard, and at times a fatal one. This quote is from Anne Murray. She's the author of Outrage to Courage. I'm currently taking her human rights class, and it is so beautiful. Her work is really breathtaking. Let's take a second and look at why this quote is relevant today. Let's start off with the topic of poverty. In 2024, last year, the UN made a report to find out that women make up majority of people living in extreme poverty. This is not by accident, but by design. This is due to systemic inequalities that disproportionately affect women. Poverty is both a cause and a consequence of poor education. Women, specifically in developing countries, do not have access to education, or what we talked about in our previous video, even if they have some sort of limited access due to societal structures, do not end up actually going to school. Without education, many women do not have resources to improve their health or escape poverty. One critical area where this inequality manifests is reproductive health care. Many women do not have access to safe, affordable, and quality reproductive health care, and that is a death sentence. According to the World Health Organization, last year in 2024, almost 300,000 women died from birth-related complications, where most of them were preventable. This situation gets worse when we start talking about social and cultural stigmas in certain societies, where women, it is seen as taboo if they're looking for some sort of contraceptive or thinking about family planning or wanting to take this different route of wanting to be educated and not bear a lot of children, because in many countries, having more children means more financial security. This stigma prevents women from seeking adequate health care, which further traps them into the cycle of poverty. If you're watching this, you're probably thinking, well, this doesn't totally affect me. But when we look at even the United States in 2024 and this upcoming year, we're seeing a different but just as equally troubling picture when it comes to reproductive health care accessibility. Last year, several states enacted state bans for reproductive autonomy for women, and quite a few of those states have no exception when it comes to force or incest or the health of a mother, which there are many medical professionals that disagree with this in general. These bans force women into life-threatening situations and disproportionately affect women in marginalized communities. It begs the question, why are women seen less as men, and why are these men making choices for women? And even if it's a woman in the government, why is she making choices for women everywhere? Shouldn't this choice be between her family and a healthcare provider, not the government? But the US is lucky because many people in the United States have access to education and can fight for the right solution, versus in other countries, women aren't even aware of what they potentially have access to. These restrictions take away any autonomy that a woman has and perpetuates the idea that a woman is less valuable than a man. So when Anne Murray wrote, "Being born female is a health hazard, at times a fatal one," she wasn't exaggerating. This statement is rooted in the hard truths surrounding healthcare, policy, women's rights, and system inequality. As we continue to fight for rights for women globally around the world, no matter where they are, let's remember that all of these issues are interconnected. By prioritizing educating young women, we can slowly, collectively take action on so many of these connected issues and hopefully live in a world where there's equity and equality for all.